Good morning, beloveds. I'm awake, I think. I'm awake, I think. All right. It is Sunday, September 5th. And our title is, I Exercise My God-Given Dominion. And the quote is, they feast on the abundance of your house. You give them drink from your river of delights. And that is Psalm 36:8. There is a God power at the center of every man's being, a presence that knows neither lack, limitation, nor fear, sickness, disquiet, nor imperfection. But because everyone is an individual, he can build a wall of negative thought between himself and this perfection. The wall which keeps you from the greater good is built of mental blocks, cemented together by fear and unbelief mixed in the mortar of negative experience. Now you are to tear down this wall, to completely destroy it. The view which this wall obstructed is now seen in all its grandeur. The sun never really stopped shining, and the river of life forever flows. Every man's experience is an attempt to merge his own being with this eternal river, not to the loss of his identity, but to the discovery of the self which has never wholly left its heaven. Say, I know that there is a presence and a perfect law irresistibly drawing into my experience everything which makes life happy and worthwhile. The good that I receive is but the completion of a circle, the fulfillment of my desire for all. I have placed my reliance in the power, the presence, the perfection of God. Therefore, I have dominion over all apparent evil. I repudiate all its claims, cast out every fear of or belief in that which is not good, and exercise the dominion which by divine right belongs to me. Okay. So let's talk about the wall. The wall which keeps you from greater good is built of mental blocks, cemented together by fear and unbelief, mixed in the mortar of negative experiences. I don't know how many of you have built a wall, but mental blocks. And where do we get those mental blocks? We're taught those mental blocks. We are taught them by the people around us, by the people that love us, by society, by culture, by religion, by stereotypes, by and just all of these things which are intent on labeling us, by stuffing us into boxes. Then those boxes become bricks, or, that we build these walls out of. Because I am this, I can't be this. Because I am this, I can't be this. Because I am this, I can't be this. And none of it's true. None of it is true. Because I am a girl, I can't, There's a whole lot of that. And, when you look around and everything around you is telling you that the pinnacle of is this one thing, none of which you are, then you're going, but then I can't have. I'm like, but the problem is what they, and I'm going to use the air quotes, they, tell you is the pinnacle isn't. In Science of Mind, we talk about unity. But we do not talk about uniformity. We talk about the multiplicity in the unity. We all come from the same source. And so the worst thing, I think one of the worst things that we have done is we talk about being made in the image of God, and then we make God this white male. Old white male, sitting in a chair with a big book. We basically turned God into an accountant. And then anybody that doesn't look like that isn't good enough. So there we have mental blocks, cemented together by fear, because I'm not what I've been told is the pinnacle. and unbelief, because I don't believe in my own unity. I don't believe in my own my own source, mixed with the mortar of negative experiences, because now this is what I've been told the pinnacle is, and I'm not that. And so then I'm constantly bumping into, I'm not that. And at some point, I'm going to have to look at what I have been told and decide what's true. That's one of the reasons why I gender neutral these. And I gender neutral them rather than skewing them women. Anytime it says man, I can say woman. But that's not the point. The point is to gender neutral it. The point is to remove as many stereotypes, to remove as many labels, to remove as many boxes that we can be stuffed into from all of that. And what I'm not, and I'm not telling you not to celebrate all of those, because that is one of the points of Science of Mind, to celebrate the differences, to celebrate the multiplicity, to celebrate the amazing diversity that we are created from the source. We are all these amazing divine expressions. What I'm suggesting is that we stop looking at what we have been told is the pinnacle. That right there, if we could cut that off at the knees, if we could cut that off saying that this is the highest and everything below this is lesser. Everything that is not this is lesser. Everything below this is an imitation of that, but not quite good enough. Those are the blocks. Those are the blocks. To celebrate what we are and recognize that we come from this amazing divine source, and that every single one of us is created in the image of God, because there's nothing that's not God. And that will start kicking the bricks out of that wall. That will weaken that mortar. That will lessen, all of that. And then we can kick the wall down and proceed on into that grand view and look at how amazing life is. Let's talk about the wall. Let's talk about the wall. Should write a talk about that. So where is your dominion? Because we talk about that, and we have made much of the dominion. Well, your dominion is over you. Your dominion is over your experience, your expression, what you see, what you know to be true. So I exercise my God-given dominion. They feast on the abundance of your house. You give them drink from your river of delight. If you know who you are. That's from the Psalm 36:8. Because God will give us all of that. God will give us the abundance of the house. God will let us drink from the river of... God doesn't even have to let us drink from the river of delight. God wants us to. It's not that God is granting us permission. That God created the river of delights for us. There is a God power at the center of every person's being. A presence that knows neither lack, limitation, nor fear, sickness, disquiet, nor imperfection. But, because everyone is an individual, they can build a wall of negative thought between themselves and this perfection. So we have the power, but we have been granted free will. And with free will comes the possibility that we can deny who we are. The wall which keeps you from the greater good is built of mental blocks, cemented together by fear and unbelief, mixed in the mortar of negative experience. So when we buy into the stereotypes, we are building our own, we're creating our own blocks. Now, these are blocks that have been used probably for the entire time that we have been conscious of, our separateness. Let me use air quotes there, separateness. So, as soon as we woke up and went, oh, okay, we started creating these mental blocks. So we've inherited a whole lot of these mental blocks. And we keep using these mental blocks on each other. And then we wonder why we have negative experiences. Because somebody will hold up a block and go, well, here. And we take the block without really examining the block, going, no. And then we cement them together and mortar them, and we have negative experiences because we're constantly pricking up these blocks, and then we end up with this magnificent wall. But what we really want is on the other side of the wall. What we really want is on the other side of the wall. Now, you are to tear down this wall to completely destroy it, which means every stereotype, every negative experience, everything that somebody else has told you about who you are, and probably a fair number of things you have told yourself that you are. Rita was just being weird. You have to throw away. You have to throw it all away. Because these blocks don't build who you are. They actually are disguising yourself from who you are. They are between who you are and who you think you are. So now, you are to tear down the wall, to completely destroy it. The view which this wall has obstructed is now seen in all its grandeur. Who are you? You are a beloved child of God, made by God, from God, by the stuff of God. You are a beloved child of God. You are a divine distribution center. And that is what this wall is walling you off from, who you are. The sun never really stops shining, and the river of life forever flows. But if we're busy looking at a blank wall made up of our fears, our negative experiences, and all of the bull that we've been told, we're not seeing the sunshine. We're standing in the shadow of a wall that we built, a wall that we had help building, a wall which we can have help destroying. That's what things like this do. That's what places like this do. That's what books like this do. That's why people who truly love you and don't buy into that crap, it's what they can help you do. They're forever chipping away at the mortar of that wall, going, well, have you thought about? You're a beloved child of God. Let me take another scrape at that mortar. Every person's experience is to attempt to merge their own being with this eternal river, not to the loss of their identity, but to the discovery of that self which has never wholly left its heaven. There's a part of us that knows who we are. There's a part of us that has always known who we are. There's a part of us that will always know who we are. And the wall can't cut it off. But we can't ignore it. That's the dominion. That's why Jesse talks about that place where nothing has ever been wrong. That's why I talk about that place where we meet the unfiltered God. The place that we go that's on the other side of that wall. And we get there all the time. So, here is the power statements. Say, I know that there is a presence and a perfect law irresistibly drawing into my experience everything which makes life happy and worthwhile. The good that I receive is but a completion of a circle, the fulfillment of my desire for all. Because if I want it for myself, I want it for everybody. I want to take down all the walls. I have placed my reliance in the power, the presence, and the perfection of God. Therefore, I have dominion over all apparent evil. All apparent evil, because evil is simply a misuse of the law. It is not a power in and of itself. I repudiate all its claims, cast out every fear of or belief in that which is not good. So I cast out every fear. I repudiate all the claims. So all of those bricks that we have been handed all of our life, I repudiate them all. I repudiate them all. I repudiate the stereotypes. I repudiate the boxes. I repudiate all of them. And I repudiate the fear that comes with them. And I don't believe in them. Because I believe in the one. I believe in the divine mind, the divine presence. I believe in the divine pattern. I believe in the unity in multiplicity. And the multiplicity in the unity. That's what I believe in. And exercise the dominion which by divine right belongs to me. Why does it belong to us? Because we are children of God. We've been made by God in the image of God. The image of God is exactly what you look like right here, right now. And don't let anybody ever tell you that it's not. Don't let anybody tell you that God is an old white man sitting in a chair. Because you hear God sing when you hear the birds sing. You hear God laugh when you hear the wind in the trees. You see God when you look in the eyes of a living being, whether they walk on 2 legs or 4. It's all God. So what's our mission today? You already know the mission today. Your mission today is to tear down that wall, to completely destroy it, to let go of all of those boxes, all of those bricks, to chip that mortar away. And when you do, and even if you haven't completely destroyed your wall, because that's the end game, even when you haven't completely destroyed your wall, but you've chipped enough of that mortar away and you've knocked enough bricks out of that wall that you can see through, you're going to want to help other people do it too. You're going to want to go to them and say, you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. You're going to want to say, God loves you. You're going to want to look in your own eyes and see God looking back at you. So, that's the mission. Tear down that wall. Tear down that wall. Give up all of those stereotypes, mental blocks, what have you, that have that you have used to build this wall, most of which were handed to you by well-meaning, loving people. Toss them. Toss them all. All right, beloveds. I would tell you, as I always do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. Whatever that looks like. It will be amazing and awesome and fantastic and wonderful and great. And it can be big and it can be small, and it doesn't matter because it's something you do for you. That really is the secret. The loving, kind, compassionate thing that I do, that I ask you to do every day. I'm not asking you to do it for me. I want you to do it for yourself. I want you to take something every day that is completely yours. Something that is completely yours. To care for yourself as the beloved child of God that you are. I also encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body, although it is Sunday and that is my day of physical rest, so please do that. Sun, first thing in the morning, goes a long way to resetting those hormones. Drink plenty of water, as Gabby comes in and makes her statement. Drink plenty of water, and open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven now. The wall is an illusion. The wall is an illusion. So break it down, tear it down, throw it away. Don't save those bricks to do anything else with. Trust me. They're not the bricks you want to build a world out of. You want to build a world out of love, out of kindness, out of compassion, out of recognition of who you are. Not the bricks in that wall. All right, beloveds. We will have an amazing service for you very soon. It will be right here on Facebook Live at 11 a.m. If you don't catch us then, you can catch us on YouTube. Or scroll back and watch it later. And then Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. And I'll be back with you at 9 a.m. Now, tomorrow is a holiday. It is Labor Day. And I do not intend to labor. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. But whatever it is that you do tomorrow, remember who you are. Remember who you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased always and forever. So, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. All right, beloveds. I am going to move into the process of my day because I really need a drink of water, and I'm going to have to go rescue the cat who has gotten herself trapped. Know that you are loved. Do what you need to do to make it a great day, fantastic day, wonderful day, an amazing day. A good day. And if that's too much pressure, simply have a day. All right? Know that you're loved, and I will see you next time.